He's an my peeps. I'm Fire Spewing Del, and this is the legendary Dragonfire showcase. Just when you thought Epic were done with the Chinese New Year event, they've thrown another new weapon into the mix. Keeping in trend with the existing run of fire spewing shooters, this latest edition is no exception with built-in fire damage. Available in the Vent Store for a mere 1,680 Fortnite golds, and this time it comes with fixed perks, so no chance of getting screwed. But is it worth the grind? Will the Dragonfire make you want to land your hot fiery load all over the gaff? Or is she just a lukewarm tease? Well, there's only one way to find out, fam. Let's dive in and shoot our load. Stats. The Dragonfire is a short-range, fire-spewing shotty with a reasonable 8 rounds in the magazine to inflict justice on those husks. With a rapid reload speed of only 2.7 seconds, only the Tiger Jaw can compete on that level, since both weapons use a full magazine reload mechanism instead of individual shell reloading, as per the majority of shotties. Although the Tiger Jaw has double the fire rate and an extended 10-round magazine, single shot damage is up on the Dragonfire by around 10%. On the face of it, the Dragonfire appears to be both a DPS and wave clear shotty option, although limited to up close and husky play. Although the fire rate is fairly pedestrian, only capable of unleashing 2 rounds per second, putting it down on DPS to that of the Tiger Jaw, when we consider the Dragonfire's fixed perks, coupled with an appropriate shotgun class build, things are starting to look a little more interesting. Perks. As a non-collection book item, the Dragonfire comes with fixed perks. Yours will look exactly like this. And it appears on the face of it that the Dragonfire perks are focused on improving damage, and more specifically, critical damage. With a plus 30% crit damage perk, and a plus 21% crit damage chance, this is a good start. And an additional 15% flat damage on top is always nice to see, raising the power levels from dangerous to spicy. But then when we consider the level 20 perk, an additional 90% crit damage to afflicted targets, things are starting to get extra spicy. Okay, on its own, it's not a great perk, since the target needs to be both afflicted and a crit shot has to land to trigger it. But when we factor in the 21% crit rate perk, and at level 25, an additional 10% weapon damage with affliction, this ensures the affliction trigger is active on all but the first round landed on your selected target. But even with the 21% crit rate perk, considering the relatively low innate 5% crit rate, this means that still only around 1 in 4 shots will crit, so that extra 90% damage is going to be a little bit hit and miss. But, as is often the case in Fortnite, with the right build, playing to this shotty's advantages, the Dragonfire becomes a DPS monster. Build. To get the best out of the Dragonfire can be a little tricky, given the requirement to own 2 Raider class soldiers. Now if you don't know already, the only way to secure a Raider class soldier is either to fill your collection book to level 100, which will unlock the fabled Raider Nomad, or to go back in time to the scavenger event last year to secure a Raider Headhunter. Now, it just so happens I have 2 Raider class Headhunters in my locker, which frankly means I'm going to have a bit of a beast on my hands. Why? Well, with Raider class slotted as your main, you'll benefit from some impressive shotgun perks. Alongside the standard 10% range damage gain from advanced tactics, an additional 27% can be secured, albeit on your 3rd shot to the same target, from debilitating shots coupled with kneecapper. And that's all well and good, but the shotgun specific perks are where you'll see some serious gains. Shell Shock increases flat shotgun damage by a hefty 24%, but more so, Critical Blast will add a whopping 70% crit damage, bringing the Dragonfire's total crit damage up to a ferocious 240% at level 25 for an afflicted crit shot. Given how imperative it is to land a crit to get the best out of this gun, the support slot is best occupied by your 2nd Raider class soldier utilising the adjustable choke perk, raising crit rate by an additional 20%. What this means is that we're left with a shotgun delivering an additional 240% crit damage for almost every other shot at a 46% crit rate, and oh my does it make a difference. In the field. So how does the Dragonfire operate in the field? With enormous damage and impact, a reasonable magazine size and reload time, it should be a great all-rounder. But there is a catch, and it's a pretty significant one. It will literally do nothing at anything other than super close range. and I mean super close range. You pretty much have to run up to your target and say hello in person before pulling the trigger. Wave clearing ability is also limited due to the Dragonfire's relatively tight spread. So unlike the Thunderbolt, where the limited range can be forgiven because of its ultra wide side by side angle of attack, the Dragonfire won't wave clear at short range in the same manner. A double barrel shot from the Thunderbolt can be devastating to multiple targets, whereas the Dragonfire is limited to at best 2 or 3 targets at a time. As a result, it's not a terrible wave clearing option, but it's far from the best. However, given the enormous crit damage the Dragonfire has tucked away, coupled with a swift reload, you can switch between clearing mobs and downing mist monsters in quick succession, and this is where a lot of other high-powered shotties struggle. They just take way too long to reload to be useful to both clear mobs and down the mist monsters. The Dragonfire, however, does away with that mid-battle reload panic, but while still maintaining enormous single-shot damage and decent DPS. And as an added bonus, given the Raider class's I Love to Reload perk, increasing run speed by 30% following a reload, this can help massively to keep you mobile and to keep you within the maximum damage range of husks in the minimal time. Okay, so it is crit reliant, and despite the 46% crit rate on this particular build, it's still not quite high enough to fill you with complete confidence when going headfirst into a laser eyes. But when it does crit, it's devastating. With the Dragonfire on a full Raider class build, I found myself downing laser eyes, huskies and takers rapidly, in 3 or 4 headshots on average. And it'll even kill the smashers. Again, it's probably not the best option for tank killing, but it's not the worst either. The power, reasonable fire rate and swift reload time, coupled with enough impact to stagger a smasher, mean you don't have to switch to a secondary tank killing option as a necessity. So it would seem in many respects the Dragonfire is an all-rounder. It can clear mobs, it destroys mist monsters, and can even kill the tanks. If you can overcome its complete lack of range and adjust your playstyle accordingly, it's actually a pretty decent gun. It forces you to go balls deep and fully commit to your target. It's a lot more tricky to play than a soldier with a siege breaker, but the results and satisfaction from running headfirst into a laser eyes only to annihilate it, well, you can't put a price on that. Okay, so it'll be useless against water elementals, and you'll have to deal with mid and long range targets with a different shotty. I mean, unless you just run at them. But for anything up close and husky, which is what the Raider class is all about, it's a solid choice and one which won't make your life any easier, but will fill you with husk slaying joy every time you pull the trigger and land a crit. So there we have it fam, the Dragonfire is truly fire, but only when used as intended, up close and husky. If you don't already have a high powered shotty in your artillery, she's well worth a look, but be prepared for balls deep play, going full ham on that husk and praying that crit will land every time you pull the trigger. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to fire your 12 gauge load straight into that like button and subscribe for more tank downing action. And until next time, GG, well played and laters fam. Laters.